It's going down. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachakwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders, the great millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And welcome to another series of It's Going Down, being brought to you by the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Moscow identifies cause of global economic woes. The Russian president says loose fiscal policy is the real cause of inflation, not the Ukraine conflict. And I've been saying this before, okay? The whole Russia-Ukraine crisis is no more than a scapegoat. Okay? It's no more than a scapegoat that the United States love using in order to justify their actions. Okay? So whenever you hear about food prices skyrocketing, whenever you hear about gas prices skyrocketing, know that it has nothing to do with Russia or Ukraine. Okay? Russia and Ukraine are no more than scapegoats that's being used to pin the blame on for these this coming famine and these skyrocketing food prices. So Russian Vladimir Putin accused Western nations of damaging their own economies through money printing while wrongly blaming their problems on the Ukraine conflict. And that's exactly what the United States is doing. Okay? The more money you print, the more in debt, the more you put yourself in debt. Okay? And that's what the United States is doing. They're constantly printing and printing and printing and printing and printing more and more money. And in the process, what are they doing? They're putting themselves deeper in debt. It says the latest price hikes, inflation problems with food and fuel, gasoline problems in the energy sector are the results of systematic mistakes. Right. In the economy policy of the current U.S. administration and the European bureaucracy, Putin said on Friday at a plenary session of the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. Putin said years of quantitative easing have expanded the money supply of the United States and Eurozone by 38% and 20% respectively. He accused the Western nations of using those vast amounts of newly printed cash to buy up global goods, noting that imports of agricultural produce soared 40% from $250 billion in 2019 to $350 billion this year. The president also urged the West to stop blaming their inflationary woes on Russia and its military operation in Ukraine and to change the policy course. Okay? But ultimately, the United States is blaming Russia for all these conflicts because really it's a tactic. It's a tactic they're using. You know, they want to paint Russia, they want to paint this narrative that Russia is somehow the bad guys in this. You know, they're responsible for all these things that are happening around the globe. Meanwhile, nobody is looking at the United States and how they're weaponizing Ukraine, spending billions of dollars in aid to aid Ukraine. Okay, so Man, all right. Second Corinthians 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Now, this is not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. The word Satan goes back to the Hebrew word shaitan, which means adversary. Okay? And your adversary will be your main opponent, your main enemy. Okay? And we, the Israelites, starting with you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians, we have enemies. Okay? We have enemies. And that is something you have to understand. You know, we have enemies. Okay? And every day, the enemy, the so-called elites, are using the media to lie and to deceive you. When you look up this word devices, it goes back to the Greek word naima, which means an evil purpose or evil scheme. There's an evil purpose and an evil scheme behind them blaming Russia for all the things that are going on in the world. Okay? Luke chapter 8 verse 17, it reads, "For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad." So, whatever is secret is going to be made known. Okay? So with that, I'm going to say shalom. It's on to the next one.